Hello everybody, and it's Megan from Krazy Fluid Art, and welcome to my next video, a bloom bloop. This technique was actually designed by another fluid artist called Iris D. So massive kudos to her. I love doing these little bloom bloops. They're not just a straightforward bloom, as you can see from the image here. And today I am going to go through how I've made this beautiful blue bloom bloop. But before I do, I'd like to start off by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land that I paint on today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, as well as to any leaders that are emerging. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. As I always say at the start of every one of my videos, it is always my absolute pleasure and privilege to be able to create my artworks on the land that they once owned. So, how about we just get straight into the video and see how these beauties are created? All right, so I'm just going to go through the setup. As you can see, I've got my spinner with my Fluid Art Co. mat ready to go on a bit of puppy padding. I always mark my coasters that I make with the date so that I know how long they've been drying and curing for before I resin them. And I give them a little code so I know which colours I've used on each set of coasters. So obviously this was painted on the 6th of the 6th, and this is my first coaster set of the day, so it's got an A on it. And that's pretty much just helps me so that I don't over resin them too early before they've had a chance to fully cure. So I'm just centering my coaster on my non-slip mat. I use the little lines on the Fluid Art Co. silicone mat to make sure that I've got my coaster even in. So I'm now just adding my white pillow paint. This is just a tin of white base paint that I get from my local hardware store here in Australia. Quite lucky for that. And then I'm just adding my little mound in the middle to pop my bloom. So for a bloom bloop, this starts off as a straightforward bloom, and I'm using the Shelly Art technique recipes for all of these. And I'm also using some boom gels from Boom Gel Stain, which is a lovely Australian company that make these gorgeous products that we can pour straight out of the bottle. So my first color is a boom gel. It is a beautiful royal blue, which has this gorgeous shimmer to it. It's actually one of my favorite blues that they make. So I'm just putting a little blob of blue boom gel. Say that fast 10 times or after a few drinks. And now I'm just adding I think it's Cruellian Blue from Mattise. Then it's this here is, I actually can't remember what color this is. It's a TLP purple, but I can't remember which one it is. I will find out which one it is and I'll put it in the comments at the start. This is another boom gel that I am applying, and I'm just squiggling them on. I'm not putting them all in as dots because I like a squiggle effect. I've still got to make that video. Thanks for reminding me. I will get onto that. And then my white cell activator. And as I said, these are all made using the Shelly Art technique recipe. So I'm just going to blow it out. Unfortunately, my gorgeous head is going to get in the way here. And I'm blowing it out as I would for a normal standard bloom. So we're just giving it some gentle blows, pushing that cell activator out and over the paint that we've just laid down so we can create these beautiful cells. So that will just take a couple of seconds to just blow that out. I do need to invest in a second camera so that I can show you what happens as I'm blowing, or I probably should have moved my camera down so you can actually see what happens. But there you go. There's that blown out bloom. So we're just going to spin it out to spread and thin the paint out. I don't need to spread it fully off because what I'm going to do next is create that bloom blob. So I don't need to fill the whole tile with my bloom. So now I'm just getting some of that house base paint that we use, or the pillow paint, and I'm just, as you can see here, drizzling it over certain sections of my tile. And that just is covering up that bit of bloom that we've got on there. And I'll do this in a couple of spots just to give this really unique look on the tile as you saw from the original image at the start. So we're just going to drop some pillow paint over the edge, over some areas where we want to cut out that bloom, and then we'll give it another spin, and that's just to basically spread it out and to thin that pillow that I'm adding on the top, so that it's not going to dry lumpy or uneven as well. So once I've dried that off, as you can see here, you can already see it developing, and how the end product is actually going to look. And even from here, before I spin it, it looks really cool. But we'll give it a quick spin just to help spread that extra layer of paint off. And pretty much that's, I think, where I'm leaving this one. I think she looks pretty cool like that. And that's pretty much what the Bloom Blob is. You can do it with any colors. You can do it with I've done it with black backgrounds. You can do it with a different color pillow if you want to, depending on what you're obviously trying to get out of it. I'm now just adding some extra paint to the corners, and there we go. That is our first tile, pretty much all finished with a Bloom Blob. Thank you to Iris D again for that. So we're just going to do another 3 tiles. I might speed these videos up and throw some music on, and I hope you enjoy watching these get created, and I will talk to you very soon. On our last tile, so we're just here doing our last bloop. So I hope you've enjoyed the little speed up, just showing you very quickly how a bloop's done. It is really simple, and the really good thing about doing these bloom bloops is that if you've got anywhere on your tile or your artwork that you just don't like, it's a great way to cover up maybe those areas that your cell activator hasn't spread to, or maybe you've blown too hard on an area and your pillow paint's coming through. So it's a great little trick for hiding those blemishes that you might see, even though somebody else might not necessarily see them. But it's just a really cool, easy, unique way of creating something different in your artworks. So it's definitely a favorite of mine. I made a few, I think last year, and then I didn't make any for ages. And I just thought, you know what? I haven't made a bloom bloop for a while, and I'm about to paint some Lazy Susans, and I thought maybe a balloon bloop might look really cool on a Lazy Susan. So I thought, well, let me just go and do a few tiles, make sure that I remember what I'm doing. But I also thought it might be a really cool idea just to show everyone a different way to display your bloom. Your blooms don't always have to cover the whole tile. So I really hope that this has shown that for you all. I really hope that it's just given you another idea of a different technique that you can do, and get creative, have fun with it. There's no right or wrongs on how many little bloops you put in. You can put 1, you can put 2, you can put 3. I do a mix between 3 and 4 depending on the size of the tile that I'm doing. But there you go. So I really hope you've enjoyed watching this. As you can see from each of the 4 tiles that I'm displaying now, they're all very different, very unique, very creative. If you do, please like and comment. I love the comments. I love answering any questions. As I said, all the colors are listed in the comment section, in the description section of my video. But please like, comment. If you want to see future videos like this, absolutely 100% subscribe. And I can't wait to see you at my next video. Otherwise, stay safe, stay happy, and happy creating.